just trying to get them to be open enough to just write something up there, it was almost like, look, there's no right or wrong answer in this. This is off of what you think of, or how you feel about, you know, this question.
I'm Amina Batata. I'm assistant professor in the Department of Health and Wellness at UNC Asheville. And I am the principal investigator of Exploring Food.
It was amazing to see the answers to the questions. So like it was one question that I had that was, outside of the grocery store, do you know where your food comes from?
The goal of our project is to understand the perceptions around healthy eating among primarily food decision makers from low wealth communities. We really embrace the community-based and participatory research approach, which is known as CBPR.
Some people said hoop houses, greenhouses. Some people said a farmer or farms. But some people said, I don't know, you know, or McDonald's.
Most recently, we've had the benefit of working with Olufemi Lewis, who is a food activist locally, and she also lives in Hillcrest community in Asheville.
Ujamaa Freedom Market is a mobile market cooperative business that sources food from local growers, and then we sell the food back to food insecure communities. And right now we are going to one of the communities, which is our home, the Hillcrest community. It's a public housing development that's been around since 1958, and it has probably close to 1,000 residents.
It's me, Mrs. Bryson Calvin. I was coming to tell you we got the bus over here. And if you needed anything, I got my vegetable truck. A lot of the young people nowadays, they don't cook unless it's out of a box or out of a can. So a lot of the elderly people that probably would like fresh produce and stuff, they don't have, you know what I'm saying, they don't get food stamps, they just get one check at the beginning of the month. And so they go buy their groceries mostly all at one time to try to last them for a whole month. So timing is a big factor.
Oh, what are you talking about? That's what we talking about. You mess with my part, don't mess with my part. You don't mess with my part now.
During my involvement with Exploring Food Project, I did a couple of focus groups, and from those focus groups, people knew that they were supposed to eat healthy. It's not like they didn't know or they didn't care or they didn't want to eat healthy, but you know, either transportation or either financially, you know what I'm saying, money, you know, being able to buy healthy produce, those were the top two things.
On the surveys, it was just asking them, where do they usually shop? What kind of stuff do they usually buy? Did you have transportation? People's favorite types of like vegetables and fruits and stuff, so we could get a feel on what we should carry, on what people need.
These focus groups that I were doing was multicultural and they was multi-generational. You had individuals, you know, looking at each other like they going through the same thing, so they can see a connection to where it's not just one person by themselves. And then in those conversations, in those focus groups, you get ideas started bubbling up and popping up, and people exchanging like, well, this is what I do with my family, or maybe you can do this. You know, things start happening.
I grew up here, I've been here 41 years, and a lot of these people I'm related to, so, you know, it was a better, you know what I'm saying, it was a connection there with the community.
After surveying a lot of people, we came up with these logos. Look at it and see which one reaches out to you.
I like this one because it was talking about faith, family, and real food. Oh. This one because it was saying take care of our earth, because if you don't take care of it, nobody else will.
Thank you. Thank you. Cool.
In typical research studies, we might have looked for somebody with more research expertise. What she brings in terms of understanding of community conditions from her own personal experience, as well as experience of living in and working with communities, primarily of lower wealth in the area, far outweighs the research skills that we might find in somebody else. And in fact, what we found in working with her is that she inherently possesses a lot of the skills, because she just knows what kinds of questions to ask before we even bring up what the research has asked. And amazingly enough, it's oftentimes very well aligned.
Continuing to have conversations around it, I think eventually gets people to move forward and take the self-initiative to purchase healthy and to eat healthy.
I'm gonna cook that squash. I'm gonna cook that squash today.